a much better job than Sam.
Mika Whaitiri.
Tēnā koe, Mr Speaker. Inga mi mo te wharenei tēnā tātou katoa. Mr Speaker, as a proud member of Ikaro Rāwhiti, a holder of one of the largest electorates in this House, I get a great deal of satisfaction of travelling up and down my electorate. It's a 9.5 drive from one point to the other. And sir, when I travel around my electorate, I do not see the returns that I believe the people of Ikaro Rāwhiti should be experiencing under this government. Sir, the Kiwi dream is definitely slipping away from the people in Ikaro Rāwhiti under this national-led government. Sir, this economy is stacked in favour of a privileged few, while everyday Kiwis, and particularly my constituents of Ikaro Rāwhiti, find it harder to get ahead. A housing market, sir, that has become a plaything for speculators, locking a generation out of the dream of home ownership. But don't take my word on it. Let's take the word of the Salvation Army and the Presbyterian Church, who didn't want a bar of what this government was offering when they're trying to sell off state housing. Sir, we have a healthcare system stretched to breaking point. We're slashing services to the tune of $1.7 billion over 6 years, denying Kiwis the care they deservedly need. An education, sir, system drowning our young people in debt. And we heard today that that current debt is at $15 billion. Sir, $15 billion. And as a mother of 2 teenage sons, and I can say they're teenagers, both 19 and 18, they have started their first week at Victoria University, and their future is already going to start with a heavy burden upon them, sir. Rates of child poverty that are a national disgrace, with too many kids going without food, living in cold, damp houses, or relying on charity for basics like a raincoat or a decent pair of shoes. Sir, at the beginning of this year, our leader, Andrew Little, set out his vision for the future with the Working Futures Plan, providing 3 years post-education, free education. This policy tackles, sir, the problems we are facing with the rapidly changing nature of work. Labour also is going to back an economy that works for all of us, not just for the privileged few. A country where our kids can hope to one day own their own home, a job that pays well, and the security to live a fulfilling life with the people we care about. And sir, a world-class health system that's there for you when we all need it. For the first time in our history, sir, the next generation could be worse off than the last. And National won't offer any solutions of their own, just criticism and cheap slogans. And we only have to reference the Prime Minister's statement for justification of that statement, sir. Labour will turn this around. We will back the Kiwi dream and restore security and opportunities for all New Zealanders. Sir, we mentioned 0 hours. Labour won't support the Employment Standards Legislation Bill unless it eliminates 0 hours contracts. And sir, I have workers in Wairoa that not only had to take AFCO workers, freezing workers, who had to take tallies to the Employment Court not once, not twice, but successively won their case in the Employment Court. And sir, Labour stands by and campaigns for its success to ensure that we are protecting all our workers, sir, at the bargaining tables with employers. So I want to make it really clear and go on record that Labour remains committed in terms of the 0 hours and the Employment Standard Legislation bills on 3 matters. 1, we want to remove the ability of employers to put people on contracts where they are on call with no permanent hours. Sir, being on call can be fine in some contexts, but being on call at all times with no security of regular hours is not particularly useful for many of our people. And again, sir, I had, like I said, 2 teenage sons working over the Christmas holidays, and one would religiously go to work and get told that he wasn't needed. And as a 17-year-old who needed to work to ensure that some of his tertiary bills were covered, I can tell you, sir, it was heartbreaking to even get him up to go to work, knowing that when he got there, he often got turned down. So I'm glad that we're standing on that principle, sir, that no others will have to suffer that. The second point, sir, is employers should be able to cancel shifts at the last minute, and the idea that employers can cancel shifts when they should not be is normalised in law. Sir, I'm proud to stand on this side of the House with Labor to say that we will stand up for the Kiwi dream and that we will stand by our commitment of eliminating zero-based contracts. Kia ora tātou.
Mark